So dear students, once again, very good afternoon. So it's been long gap. So I don't know whether you remember the things or not. So let's have a quick revision of what we have learned already. So you know what we have started is about the classification of elements in the periodicity. That is the third chapter, classification of elements in the periodicity. And there, what we have seen already is the elements. What are the elements present in the periodic table? Then the arrangement of the periodic table and some history related to the periodic table we have seen already. And after that, we have started with some periodicity or periodic property that is related to the periodic table. Like we have to understand mainly about the atomic radius, then ionic radius, then other few things like the ionization enthalpy. Just a minute. Ionization enthalpy, then electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity. These things we need to understand. So before, yes, Prithvi, right? It is electronegativity. Yes, we need to understand these things. So before we move to other parts and all, even I don't want to write now. Only we'll understand that afterwards. Okay, we have started with the atomic radius. Let's even understand what is atomic radius and how it varies. So these things we'll understand, students. See here, I will directly start from this atomic radius only, because these things are done already, so that's why. So atomic size or atomic radius, first of all, it is very easy to understand that atomic radius is nothing but the distance between the nucleus and to the outermost electron. See, let me just draw the atom now. See, this is the atom now, right? This is the atom and this is that electron, right? And the distance between the nucleus and the outermost electron I should consider. So that is I should consider as the atomic radius, right? So this is I can consider as the atomic radius. But there is a big problem with the finding out the atomic radius. If you remember, I have already discussed. Can you just recall the things that why it is not that easy to find the atomic radius directly? See, first of all, atomic radius is the distance between the nucleus and the outermost electron. But there are some problem. I cannot directly find the atomic radius directly. Okay, it is not like, yes, Ritika, it is very, very small. And yes, Francis, its electron's position is not certain. It is changing. Yes, Sanjana, yes, it is very, very small, right? It is cannot be isolated. Anirudh, very good. Yes, see, I will just have a quick revision of that. Why it is not easy to find the atomic radius is, first of all, the atom is so small. It is not like if I draw the circle and if I tell you to measure this distance, you can find out that this distance like around 5 centimeter, 10 centimeter easily. By using a scale, you can find out. But the atom's atomic radius, you cannot find it that easily. The reason is, atom is, first of all, it is very, very small, right? And second thing is, finding the atomic radius difficulty is, atoms cannot be isolated. Isolation means taking out separate. It means if I want to measure the something, for example, if I want to measure something related to the pen now, I can take this one pen separately like this and I can measure the property of this. But atoms, it is not like that. If the atoms are arranged in a group now, I cannot separate only one atom like that, right? Second thing is, it cannot be isolated. Okay, isolation is not possible. And the third thing that I want to tell here is, yes, Shilpa, they don't have the fixed position of electrons. You know, if I tell you to measure the distance between these two, yes, by somehow, if by using some technique, if you want to find, but there's a big problem with that. Electron's position is never fixed. Sometime while measuring, the electrons might be here, and sometime while measuring the position, the electron might be here, and sometime it might be here, sometime it might be here. So you can get the different value every time. So because of all these reasons, so it is not that easy to find the atomic radius. So it is very small. Separation means isolation is not possible. And third point is, electron's position is never fixed. It is continuously changing. Got it? So that's the reason every time you'll be getting different value. For example, here if someone is getting around 20 picometers, someone will get 40 picometers, someone will get 70, someone will get 80, like that. Every time a different value you will be getting. So that is the reason, dear students, it is impossible to find out the atomic radius directly. It doesn't mean that we cannot find it at all. Yes, there is a way to find out. Even though electron's position is never fixed, okay, even though electron's position will be continuously changing, but there is one thing which is fixed. What is that? Huh? Not the path, not the path. In an atom now, what is that thing which is always fixed now? Electrons will be continuously moving. Yes, Prithvi. Yes, Pawan. Right? Yes, Francis. Nucleus will be fixed. Right? Nucleus will be a fixed position. See here, if I draw the atom like this, electrons will be here, 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 anywhere. Got it? But this position is always fixed. So what I'm going to do now here is, okay, yes, Anirudh, yes, Aditi, what we're going to do here is, we will measure the distance. Okay, what we're going to do here is, we will combine the atom with one more atom. Got it? We will combine the atom with one more atom. Then whatever may be the position, but the nucleus position is fixed now. So we'll measure the distance between these two. Then what should be done? If you know the distance, how to find the radius now? Just half it. Okay, just make it as half, right? Yes, Prithvi, right? So if you find the value of this one as 100, the actual atomic radius is half of that value. So just make it as half. Okay, by that way we can find out the atomic radius. Yes, yes, Shilpa, right? Yes, yes, right? So by this way, dear students, we can find the atomic radius not by knowing the distance between the nucleus and the electron, because continuously electron will be changing its position, but you can find out by fixing the position of a nucleus by combining with one more atom. So therefore, mainly this type of measurement requires a bond now. Got it? So therefore, based on the bond that is formed, we call that radius as different name. For example, if this atom is combined with a covalent bond, therefore the radius should be called as a covalent radius. Okay, this is what we call as a covalent radius. Got it, my dear students? Yes, Ritika, it is covalent. Yes, Mahima, it is covalent radius. Then if these two atoms are combined with a metallic form, then it is called as a metallic radius. Okay, metallic radius. And if two atoms are not at all bonded with each other, then it is called as a van der Waals radius. Okay, it is called as van der Waals radius. So dear students, yes, Prithvi, right? So these are the things that we already discussed in the previous class, and I told you already that how to find and how to measure and how the atomic radius varies, right? So covalent radius could be defined as, it is the one half of the distance between the center of the two nucleus which are bonded by the covalent bond. I will repeat, okay, slowly I'll repeat. Covalent radius is the one half of the distance between, okay, it is half of the distance between the centers of the two nuclei. Got it? When they are bonded by the covalent bond. Got it? So that is how, in a simple way, you can define a covalent radius. It is half of the distance between the center of the two nucleus when they are bonded by the covalent bond. Got it? And metallic radius will be half of the distance between the center of the two nucleus when they are bonded by the metallic bond. And van der Waals radius would be half of the distance between the center of the two nuclei when there is no bond. Okay, when there is no bond. Got it? So by this way we measure the atomic radius, and once we find the atomic radius, do you know what should be done? We should compare. This chapter is completely dependent on the comparison. Okay, how the comparison should be done? Because we know that periodic table, there are two types of things that is present. Okay, we have to compare this way. This is called as along the period. This is called as along the period. Dear students, this is already known to you that this is what we call as a period. Okay, second period, third period, fourth period, like that. So there are totally 7 periods. Okay, there are totally 7 periods. You need to compare this radius along the period. And there is one more thing called as down the group. Yes, yes, right. So those who are replying, don't mind, I'm not reading clearly just because I'm trying to complete this. Okay, and I might not take your name. I just may read only whatever you given, or sometime may not read also, because even the students are present over here. So I might not see all the time system only. Okay, So dear students, this is what you call as a along the period, and this is what you call as a down the group. Yes. So whenever I'm talking about any of the periodic properties now, like the atomic radius, ionization enthalpy, ionic radius, or whatever, we need to mainly compare mainly along the period and down the group. Let us have a comparison now. Okay, let us have a comparison along the period and down the group. First of all, you have understood what is atomic radius. Now variation. Okay, variation you should understand. First of all, you should understand that atomic radius, okay, atomic radius dash down the group. Now those who are online, you can answer. What is the answer for this one now? Yes, Prithvi, it is increases. Yes, Ritika, atomic size increases, right? So atomic radius usually increases down the group. You know the reason? For example, see, if I'm comparing down the group, this is the periodic table now, okay. If I go from these elements now, this is lithium, this is sodium, this is potassium, this is rubidium. And if you write the electronic configuration of lithium is 1s2 2s1. Electronic configuration of sodium is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s1. Okay, they all will have the same type of configuration. Okay, 2s1 3s1. This will have a 4s1. Got it? Yes, yes, Sishan, very good. Yes, Prithvi, it is because of that reason that you are told. Okay, I'll tell you that reason. Now we'll understand why down the group the atomic size should increase now. The reason is electrons are not going to the same shell. Electrons are added to the new shell. Got it? It is just like if a student is added to for example, I told you that day, like see here, if this is the atom now with the first shell, if this is the atom with the second shell, if this is the atom with the third shell, fourth shell. See, every time in electron, for example, in case of lithium, electron is going to the second shell, so the size is only this much. Got it? The size is only this much. From here to here, the size done. If a sodium is there, electron is added to the third shell, means this shell. Now the size is larger. Got it? Now imagine an electron is added to the fourth shell. You can see the distance now. It is still larger. So atomic radius increases down the group. Okay, atomic radius increases down the group because electrons are added to the new shell. Okay, electrons are added to the new shell. Yes, Ananya, yes, Prajwal, right? So dear students, atomic radius increases down the group because electrons are added to new shell. When an electron is added to the new shell, usually the atomic size increases. Okay, now let us compare atomic radius along the period now. Okay, let us understand what would happen along the period. We just understood what happens down the group. Yes, yes, Saditi, yes, Prithvi, yes, Ritika, yes, yes, Ananya, Prajwal, yes, the answer is right. Okay, let's understand. Okay, let's understand what would happen. Imagine along the period means now in this way you have to compare, not down the group. Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Okay, like that. So what would happen now along the period now? The configuration again I'll write. It is 1s2, 2s1. This is 2s2. This is 2p1. This is 2p2. This is 2p3. This is 2p4. And fluorine is 2p5. Now imagine if I remove all these s1, s2, p1, p2, p3, p4 and p5 and compare where the electron is going now. Same shell. Okay, if a electron is going to the same shell now, yes, Vaibhavi, right? If the electron is going to the same shell now, size should not increase. Got it? It should not increase at all because electrons are going to the same shell. It is just like if I add a few more passenger to the bus, same bus, will the size of the bus increases? No, it remains same, right? In that case, atomic radius remains same along the period, right? No, it's not at end. It's not remains same. It actually decreases. Okay, it actually decreases. Why decreases? Why from lithium to beryllium to boron to carbon to nitrogen to oxygen to the fluorine? You can see the size is decreasing because you are not only increasing the electron. Okay, you are not only increasing the electron, you are also increasing the nucleus. Yes, power of the nucleus means proton. Got it? And the attracting power of the nucleus increases. Got it? Attracting power of the nucleus increases. So with the same shell electrons, it is attracting more powerfully now. So electrons will come close. If electron come closer, what it indicates? They are getting close means they are becoming smaller. Got it? So that is the reason, dear students, due to the, yes, Francis, that's the correct word that you should use. Atomic radius decreases along the period because nuclear charge increases. Got it? What do we call this one as a nuclear charge? Means power. Okay. You can understand in the simple way as nuclear power. Got it? Not that nuclear power I'm telling. It is the power to attract. Got it? Yes, Shilpa, decreases because increase in the nuclear charge tends to pull the electrons towards nucleus. Very good. Okay. So because of what's the reason? Because of nuclear charge increases. Okay. Nuclear charge increases. Got it? So it's actually an important question. How the atomic radius varies along the period and down the group, and what is the reason? Atomic radius increases down the group because electrons are added to the new shell, and atomic radius decreases along the period because nuclear charge increases along the period, and electrons are added to the same shell. Okay, electrons are actually, you should write that first. Electrons are added to the same shell and nuclear charge increases. Got it, my dear students? Got it? So this is the thing that is related to the atomic radius. Now let's understand, actually this is also somewhat discussed that day, and let's move to the next part now. After understanding atomic radius, in book they all give this with a value. Okay, they usually give with the value, but while comparing, you can compare in this way: lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Can anyone tell me why nucleus is usually, noble gases are usually not considered? Actually, there is neon here. While giving the value also, they don't mention the neon here. Can anyone tell me now? Those who are online or offline, anyone? Octet. What if it is octet is complete? Why, Aditi, if it is stable, why atomic radius is not considered? Pawan, I'm asking that only. Why the noble gases atomic size is usually not considered? Even it is given in the book also. You might have seen in your book also. They will start from lithium, but they will never end with the noble gas. It will end at the fluorine or chlorine or bromine. So why it is that way? Anyone? Yes, Anup. You are close. Your answer is close. They won't react. That's the reason. Okay, they won't react. If they don't react, okay, they don't react means they won't have the covalent radius or metallic radius. What the thing that we usually measure here is mainly covalent radius or metallic radius. What type of radius we measure for the noble gases? Van der Waals radius. Okay, and Van der Waals radius will give larger value, so we don't consider. Okay, it is not actual atomic radius of the noble gases. Van der Waals radius is not the actual radius. Okay. So I hope it is clear to you. Okay. Now this is the variation. This is the variation along the period. See, values are not required. Still, I will write the value just to convey one thing. Okay. I will try to write the value. I'm mentioning this one. No need of these values. Okay. They will never ask the values. What is the atomic size of lithium? What is the atomic size of beryllium? They will never mention. But still, I'm writing it just to convey one thing. So that's the reason I also don't remember this. Okay. So I'll just copy it from somewhere. Just to convey one thing, I'm giving this. Okay. Just to convey one thing, I'm giving this value. And let us understand. See this. Atomic radius of lithium is larger in picometers. In different book, it might be given in different value, dear students. Okay. In different book, it is given in some different value. Some small changes might be given. Okay. So don't worry about the value. But let's understand one point here. When you go from lithium to beryllium, size decreases. From beryllium to boron, size decreases. From boron to carbon, decreases. But as you go down the group, dear students, you can see the variation is not that much, right? Not very much variation or not that much variation. So see, from 77 to 75, 75 to 74, 74 to 70, like that. The variation is there, the decrease is there, but the decrease is not that much. Can anyone tell me now what might be the reason behind it? Why the variation is not that much down the group? Yes, very good, Francis, very good. Yes. Huh? So what? So what? What is why it would be less? Huh? No, no, not because of that. Any idea? Any other idea? Yes, Francis, your answer is correct. Exactly correct. I will mention your answer, but let me just give the chance to others also. Why the size decrease? Because high level shells can hold more electrons. No, 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 no. Even the similar type of bond, why the size remains same? No, Prithvi, no. Ananya, so what? So what? If the electrons are to the same shell and nuclear charge increases, the size should decrease. But you can see the size remains almost same. I'm asking why. What may be the reason behind this same atomic size down the group? The reason I'll tell you, or you only explain after drawing this. Okay, this is lithium with only 3 electrons in the outermost shell. Okay, let me draw the fluorine. Okay, this is fluorine with the 7 electrons in the outermost shell because it is in 2s2 2p5. Can you tell me now why the size decrease is not that much? Why there is so much of no, it's not gaining or losing. It will lose or gain afterwards. But before losing or gaining, why the size is so small? I mean, why almost like at the end? So no. Okay, I'll tell them now. Okay, I'll tell it now. Between 2 electrons, sorry. Not gap actually. You're almost like not exactly, but I'll tell you where or in what way we can understand. See, imagine imagine the magnets here. Imagine the magnets, difference. Imagine the magnets. All are not like north pole. Okay, all are towards the north pole. So this is north. This is n. This is n. I'm trying to keep it away. Okay, I will try to keep it away. Then I will try to, as you go down the group, I will try to bring these north very very close like this. Okay, and also I'll increase the number of magnets. Now tell me what is expected if they are brought so close and also more number. They will repel one another. Okay. Yes, Shilpa. Yes, Prithvi. And the Francis also given the same answer that before, that it is just because inter-electronic repulsion. Okay. Because of inter-electronic. See what is happening now. All the electrons are getting closer and closer because of the smaller size. And also by boron to carbon to nitrogen and oxygen to fluorine, you are increasing the number of electrons. In such a small size, you are adding more and more electrons. So what would happen now? They would feel the repulsion. Okay, so you can write at the end okay, at the end of the period, atomic size decreases is not that much observed because of inter-electronic repulsion. Got it, my dear students? At the end, the value is not that much decreased because of inter-electronic repulsion. That one word is very important. Okay, inter-electronic repulsion. I hope this is clear. Now let's understand, dear students, about ionic radius. Okay, ionic radius. So let's understand this now. What is ionic radius and how again it is going to change the variation that is observed. Here ionic radius is not that much compared along the period or down the group. Okay, So mainly, dear students, we will understand the ionic radius. What do you mean by ionic radius? First of all, I'll directly write the definition. Okay. So ionic radius is, you can write ionic radius is the distance between the, first I'll write the definition, then I'll explain. It is the distance between the center of nucleus. It is the distance between the center of nucleus. Just a minute to change it. Or you can just distance between the center of the nucleus and to the I would say a better definition. See, just write it. The distance between the nucleus of an atom, just make a change. Okay, it is a distance between the nucleus of an atom. It's a distance between the nucleus of an atom. It is a distance between the nucleus of an atom and a point up to which the nucleus has influence. The nucleus has influence on its electron cloud. It seems to be kind of a like a different kind of a definition. Okay, but I will explain this, what actually the meaning of this now. The distance between the nucleus of an atom and to a point up to which, from here actually our confusion starts. What is this? A point up to which a nucleus has an influence over its electron cloud. Dear students, let me try to explain this with a simple example. Now, see here, this is one atom now. Okay, this is one atom now, and it is trying to combine with one more atom. See, try to understand. Okay, very easy concept, very easy to understand this. This is electron now, and this is the nucleus, or this is one more atom now. Okay, this is a different atom. Okay, this is atom 1 and this is atom 2. So they are combining with each other with a ionic bond now. Okay, since we want to understand ionic radius, let's compare that, and they are having an ionic bond now. So what do you mean by the ionic bond now? So this electron, okay, this electron will be transferred to this electron, this atom now. Got it? Atom 1's electron is transferred to atom 2's cloud now. Okay, so even though this electron was belonging to nucleus, whether this new atom has any right over this electron now, after transferring, I'm telling, after transferring, will it tell that this atom 1 will tell that whether this electron belongs to me now? No, it has lost its right over that electron now. Why? Because it has lost influence over that electron, because it has lost that electron to this atom now. So now the atom 1 cannot tell that that electron is mine. Got it? So it has lost completely. So after losing it completely, now we can understand. And a point up to which the nucleus has the influence on its electron cloud now. Now it will have an influence only up to the previous electron. Even though this electron was belonging to this atom, now it does not have any right over that electron. Got it? Now it does not have any right over that electron. So therefore, now it has to understand that I have to attract only up to this electron. Therefore, now this radius is called as ionic radius. Okay, so this is what you call as ionic radius. Now, even if it is not clear, I'll give just one simple example. Imagine a marriage now. Okay, imagine a marriage. Don't feel like a different type of example. I'm just giving. Imagine a marriage now. So after the marriage now, okay, after the marriage, a girl will be shifted to a boy's family, right? A girl will be shifted to a boy's family, like according to a normal Hindu ritual, a girl will be shifted, or she will be completely shifted towards boys, okay, or the groom's family, right? So now the question is, after the marriage, who has the right over that girl now? The boy's family, right? Not the girl's family. Even though the girl has been like, she was mainly, she was belonging to the girl's family only. Now that girl has been shifted to a boy's family. After the marriage, who has the main right now? The boy's family will be having a main right over that girl, right? I'm not telling that like a right or something. I'm just telling that mainly that girl belongs to that boy's family now. Got it? Now the main right over that girl will be belonging to the boy's family, right? The same thing happens in case of this one now. Got it? After the transfer of electron, the atom one has lost the right over that electron. Now it cannot consider that that is my electron now. Got it? The atom to tell that it is my electron now. Got it? So therefore, whenever there is a atom ionic radius, you should understand that it's a distance between the nucleus, okay, and of an atom, and a point up to which the nucleus has the influence on the its electron cloud. Okay, it is its electron cloud. Now I cannot tell that this is the atomic ionic radius. No, even though that electron was belonging to that atom, now it has lost. Now while considering, I should not tell that this is the atomic radius, sorry, ionic radius. Now this is the ionic radius, because now the nucleus has influence up to this electron. Clear? Clear? Or should I explain once again? Is that clear? See, I'll tell you, even though atom, okay, even though atom was like this, see, atom one was like this is the electron and this was the electron. At the beginning, this is the atomic radius, okay. Now this electron will be shifted to the atom 2. Got it? So that now the atomic radius, it was this much, will be reduced only to this electron. Got it? Why? Because it has lost the right over that electron, because it has given to that atom now. Now the atomic radius will be reduced to smaller size, and we call this one as not as atomic radius, it should be called as a ionic radius, because it has formed an ion now. Yes, Shilpa. Yes, Prithvi. Okay. Now I hope this is clear now. Okay. So the electrons, after shifting, after transferring, it has lost the right over that electron. Now I should consider by considering the remaining electron. Therefore, a point up to which the nucleus has the influence on its electron cloud. Okay. Now this is the electron cloud. So that will be the radius. And this type of radius is called as a ionic radius, because after losing or gaining electron, we get an ion now. So what type of ion we get now? Usually we get, okay, usually two types of ion we get. What is that? Cation and anion. So cations will be formed by losing of electrons, okay, losing of electrons, and anions will be formed by the gaining of electrons, okay, gaining of electrons. Yes, Prithvi, it is anion, right? So therefore, here the atom 1 is a cation, atom 2 should be anion, okay, because atom 1 is losing electron, it is a cation. Got it? Is that clear, my dear students? You know, now when you are comparing the radius, we should compare mainly the radius along this. So what would happen after losing electron? Will it become smaller? Will it become larger? That comparison we have to do, not along the period or down the group. We just need to compare among themselves now. Okay, let's have a comparison. I hope what you mean by ionic radius, it is clear now. Okay, it is the radius or the distance between the nucleus to the electron. To what electron? The electron on which it has a influence. Okay, not the electron which has lost now, because it is belonging to that atom now. Got it? So the one who's gaining has more influence now. Okay, it has more influence. Because it has gained the electron. Got it? So that is what we call as ionic radius. So after losing and gaining, we get two types of ion. One is a cation, other one is a anion. Let's have a comparison now. So first point is, cations will be, okay, cations will be, what do you feel, smaller or larger? Smaller. Why? Because it has lost the electron. So after losing, yes, Prithvi, it is, yes, Shilpa, yes, very good, right? See here, cations will be smaller in size. You should explain in a better way now, okay, in a simple way, or in a simple one word way, why the cations will be smaller. Because cations will be formed by the losing of electron, and after losing, same number, okay, same number of proton is attracting the less number of electrons. Got it? So proton will be more powerful, nucleus will be more powerful now. So therefore, the same number of protons are attracting the less number. It is just like a, if you understand, in a tug of war, okay, See, imagine there are two teams now and they are trying to attract, okay, they are trying to pull that rope towards each other. And imagine one team, okay, one team is having same number of component, but other team has lost few persons. Then who will be stronger now? The other team. So definitely the other team will definitely pull the other team towards itself. Got it? So it is just like a comparison of a tug of war. Got it, my dear students? So cations will be smaller in size. Okay, so this you can underline that word, that it is smaller in size. Now you can write why. Because cations will be, so you can get this question, why the cations will be smaller in size. First of all, it is formed by losing of electrons and yes, same number of protons are attracting, yes, less number of electrons, attracting lesser number of. So this is the answer. Okay, why it is smaller? Because it will formed by losing of electron, same number of protons are attracting lesser number of electron. Therefore what increases? Nuclear charge increases. I think I given, yes, high effective nuclear charge. Yes, it would be better, effective nuclear charge increases. Got it? It is just like, if imagine there were like 10 chapatis and 10 students. So if I want to give the chapati, each would get one. Now imagine 2 students have gone, okay, they have gone to their house. So the 10 chapati will be distributed between 8. So therefore each student will get more. So that is what you call as effective nuclear charge. Okay, so if a nuclear charge is more, usually attracting power of the nucleus will be more and they will attract more. And whenever there is an attraction, so size will be smaller. Got it? Actually there is a one simple way to remember this. Okay, there is one simple way to remember cation. Okay, you know, I usually remember at the beginning, I used to remember like this. Cation, you can read it as cation. Got it? Cation, you read it as cation. Imagine like a cake piece only. Atom is like a cake piece. I will try to cut this one now. What happens to the size? Decreases. Got it? So understand in this way. Cation, you understand in cation. Got it? Cation. Got it? Cation, cation. So after cutting, it becomes smaller. Got it? Actually, it is really helpful in remembering. If imagine I'm trying to have an ion in 2 different oxygen states. For example, instead of using the oxygen state and word, I'll just simply ask you like this. There is Mg plus and Mg2 plus. Both are cation, right? Now, which will be smaller then? Which will be smaller? Mg plus or Mg2 plus? Yes, Prithvi, very good. Mg2 plus. It is Mg2 plus, right? Yes, it loses 2 electrons. Yes, Shilpa, right? See here. Again, this will help you to remember. Okay, cation and cation. See here, cation and cation. See, if I'm getting an atom now, if I cut into 2 pieces, then the size will be further small. Okay, size will be further small. So that's the reason. This would definitely help you to understand that which will be smaller. Okay, more the charge, more number of cation charge, lesser will be the size. I hope this is clear to you, right? Let's understand same thing with the anions then. Okay, let's understand with the anions. So anions will be larger in size. Okay, anions will be larger in size. So why it would be larger in size? Because anions will be formed by gaining of electrons. Got it? Anions will be formed by the gaining of electrons. Same sentence you can write with a small slight change. Same number of protons are attracting more number of electrons. Therefore, effective nuclear charge decreases. Okay, the same sentence with a slight change. Got it? Is that clear, my dear students? So anions will be larger in size and cations will be smaller in size. If they ask why, cations will be formed by losing of electron. Same number of proton is attracting lesser number of electron. More attraction, lesser size. Now, why anions will be larger is, anions will be formed by the gaining of electron. Same number of proton is attracting more number of electrons. So therefore effective nuclear charge will be less. Okay, that's the reason attraction is not effective now. The same chapati example only I can take. If I have 10 chapati now and I have to distribute between 10 students, each will get one. Imagine 3 students added. 3 students get added to this now. So each will get less chapati than one. Okay. At the beginning, they were getting one. Now after adding 3 students, 13 students have to eat 10 chapati. Then each will get lesser number of chapati, right? So the same way, nuclear charge decreases. Got it? So that is the reason the anion will be usually larger in size. Okay, let's have a comparison, then it will be more clear. Again, to remember the anion, what I used to use before is, instead of anion I read it as an ion only. Okay, an, or it is just like how to tell, like in Kannada, like I used to read it as an ion. Okay, and means Anna. Okay, I hope you understand. Anna means brother. Usually Anna means what? He will be larger compared to us. Means larger means he will be elder, right? So same way we can read it. Or even in English only, if you want to add, it is like anions will be adions. Okay, you can read it as anions as adions. So why? If something is added, imagine to this one I'm trying to add something. So what happens to the size then? Increases. Okay. So anions, you can read it as adions. Cations, cations. So this will definitely help you to understand. Let us just compare them. Okay. Let's compare this ionic size. Here, students, example. Can you just tell me which sign should be added now? Either larger or smaller. Which one should be added? That is left to you now. Okay. Similarly, Mg2 plus, then F minus. This is first one, second one, this is third one, fourth one. I'm not telling you to mark something. I just need to tell which is negative. I mean, which should be added. You should decide now. O2 minus. Prithvi, are you sure? Which one should be added now? Write it. Then you compare with my answer now. Okay. Let's have an understanding like this. So, normal atom. Okay. This is cation, means cation. This is formed after cutting. It means this will be smaller. Got it? Similarly, Mg2 plus. This is formed after losing it, right? Yes. So this is cation. Now F can be formed as a F minus, means anion means add ion. After adding it is formed. So after adding something, size increases. Okay. This is the way you can compare, right? Let's compare in the second example now. Okay. This is just a first set of example. This is second set of example. If anyone is having any doubt, you can ask. Okay. See, let's compare the second set now. Second set will be comparing the I or I minus I and I plus. Same element in different ionic and cationic form. Yes, here, like this. Got it? Because add ion. Okay, remember, you are adding it. Adding means more. Cut ion, you will be cutting means less. Got it? Similarly, we'll compare this. O minus, O2 minus. Yes, very good, right? Yes, students, are you understanding? Yes, Ritika, right? Then we'll compare among Cu plus, Cu2 plus. Directly don't go for answering it, okay? Directly don't go for answering. Huh? It is greater than sign. I hope you are understanding. Yes, Prithvi, right? Yes, Shilpa, right? This is the second set that I wanted to ask, right? Then I think we have answered everything almost. So if it is H plus, H minus, now which sign you will use them? Okay. Yes, very good. Right. This is the sign. Yes, Pratika. Yes, Shilpa. Right. So you should use this sign. Yes, Prajwal. I hope this is clear. right? So this is how you can compare the anionic size. Now let us compare among the one more type now. Okay, one more type comparison. Actually, this type of comparison is not usually asked in the boards. In competitive, they'll ask. In the boards, they'll ask why the cation is smaller, why the anion is smaller, or comparing the size among the isoelectronic ions. Isoelectronic, isoelectronic ions. First of all, you should understand what you mean by isoelectronic. Remember this word, iso means same. Iso means same. Now it makes a sense. Same electronic means different element with same number of electrons. Okay. Isoelectronic species means the same number of the ions which have same number of electrons. And yes, right, those are answering online. Yes, right, ions which have the same number of electrons but different number of protons, or in a simple way, different elements. Okay, different elements with same number of electrons. Got it? Different element with the same number of electrons. So let's understand this now. Okay, let's understand. Before understanding the isoelectronic species, you should understand how to understand the number of electrons present. Okay, how to know the number of electrons present. See here, dear students, I may take 5 or 10 minutes extra. Okay, just stay online. Counting. Okay, first we'll counting the number of electrons, because before understanding isoelectronic, you should understand how to know the number of electrons. So counting the number of electrons we'll first do. First of all, whenever there is an anion, okay, anions, whenever you are getting, add the electrons. Okay, add the electrons. And whenever you are getting a cation, subtract the electrons. Got it? See, I'll give the example. If you want to find the number of electrons, calculate the number of electrons. I hope you are understanding. Calculate the number of electrons in the following. Got it? Calculate the number of electrons. Subtract or minus. Okay, see here. First of all, Na plus. How to find the number of electrons in this? It is very easy. It would be atomic number. Okay, atomic number minus 1. Okay, it becomes 11 minus 1. It is 10 electrons. Yes, Prithvi, yes, Shilpa, right? It is 10. So can you just find out what is for Mg2 plus then? What is this for Mg2 plus? It is again 10. Yes, Shilpa, right? How? Because atomic number of Mg is 12. And how? What is the charge of this one? 2 plus means reverse of that, means minus 2. It becomes 10 electrons. Got it? So can you answer now? Can you answer? What is there for N3 minus then? What is N3 minus? Yes, sir. Yes, Rakshit. Yes, Prithvi, right? How do you find it? How do you find it? What is the atomic number of nitrogen? 7. Okay, 7 means atomic number plus. Nimgi lane sign kanatala opposite. Okay, what the sign that you see, that opposite. Yes, Prithvi, right? Yes, and one more student also answered. Huh? Yes, Rakshit. Huh? Yes, it resembles the noble gas. That's the reason they mainly take the electron. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me what is the number of electrons in neon? It is 10. Okay. It is 10. There is no plus or minus because there is no charge. Okay. The charge, whatever it is there, no, you have to do the opposite now. Got it? So, by this way, you can find. For example, can you find in S2 minus? Can you find in S2 minus? Because I'll tell you, sulfur has an atomic number of 16. You write it. Okay. Yes, it is 18. Yes, Prajwal. Yes, Aditi. Yes, Prithvi, right? Yes, Aditi, 70. How it is 70? Prithvi, Prajwal, Ritika, Shilpa, Aditi again, Sanjana, Rakshit. Yes, it is 16 plus 2. That is 18 electrons. Can you find it for Ca2 plus? Ca2 plus? because Ca has an atomic number of 20, then minus 2, it is again 18 electron. Okay, now we can understand the isoelectronic means what now. Okay, now we can understand, or we can club the given things that we got. Isoelectronic, okay, isoelectronic set 1 which is having 10 electrons, okay, would be Na plus, then Mg2 plus, then N3 minus. Got it? Set 2 which are having 18 electrons would be S2 minus, Cl minus, and Ca2 plus. Got it? Because they were having 18 electrons. Just now we calculated. Now let us compare the radius or size among the isoelectronic species. Can anyone tell me now, if I give a very simple question to you, between N3 minus and O2 minus, which should be larger? Between N3 minus and O2 minus, which should be larger? Very good, Rakshit. Don't think too much. Okay, very easy thing. Okay, very easy thing. Nitrogen is N3 minus, oxygen is O2 minus. Got it? Now which is larger? You, when you are comparing, higher the anion, okay, higher the anionic size, higher will be the size. Okay, in isoelectronic it is very easy. Higher the charge, higher the charge, higher will be the size. Got it? In that case, while comparing Na plus Mg2 plus, which is larger now? No, while comparing anion, see, that's why I told you, anions, adding ions. Anions are formed by the adding. So if you add, like take nitrogen, add 3, so it becomes a larger one. Take oxygen, add 2, O2 minus means adding of 2, so it is smaller one. Got it? Now let's compare the Na plus. Na plus will be formed by just cutting, okay, it becomes smaller. But Mg2 plus will be formed by cutting 2 times, so which will be smaller? Then Mg2 plus will be smaller, Na plus will be larger. Okay, so this type of confusions will be there. To clear that only I told you the hint. Anions, adding, okay, you go on add it, okay, you go on add, it becomes larger. Cations will be like cutting, okay, so that means you go on cut, it becomes smaller and smaller. Got it? So therefore comparison among the isoelectronic will be like this. So let me write all the isoelectronic, that is N3 minus, then O2 minus, then F minus C. Now let me write the number of electrons. It is 7 plus 3, 10. This is 8 plus 2, 10. It is 9 plus 1, it is 10. Let's have this also, neon, 10. Sodium plus 11 minus 1, which is also 10. Mg2 plus, which is 12 minus 2, which is again 10. Al 3 plus, which is 13 minus 3, which is again 10. Okay, so are they isoelectronic species? Yes, because all contain same number of electrons. Got it? Now the important thing is to compare. Can you tell me which is larger among the given thing? N3 minus should be larger. Which is smaller among the given thing? Yes, therefore the order will be like this. Okay, to remember, you can remember in this way. Yes, students, you can remember. Yes, Pawan, right? Yes, Radhika. This is larger in size, this is smaller. How to remember? It is formed by adding 3 pieces. This is formed by the cutting 3 pieces. Okay, if you cut 3 pieces, it becomes very small. If you add 3 pieces, it becomes very large. Clear? So this was related to the ionic radius isoelectronic species. Tomorrow we will continue with the some other properties. Okay, and day after tomorrow also we'll continue some other property. If possible, by day after tomorrow I'll finish this chapter. Okay, I hope whatever we learned today, it is clear to you, right? Tomorrow I'll ask a question on this part that we have discussed today. Second thing is, tomorrow I'll be asking the question on chemical bonding as well as states of matter. Okay, during the class hours only, in between I'll ask some questions on states of matter and chemical bonding. I'll call some name and I'll ask particular question to that person, so you must be ready. Got it? Those who are sitting here and those who are online, so you must be ready. I can call anyone and I may ask, define this, state this, write the formula like that. Got it? So be prepared with that. Okay, tomorrow I'll ask. So we'll meet tomorrow then. I hope this is clear. We'll meet